Peace and blessings. What's up, you guys? I hope your weekend is going great. I hope everything is a-okay. Today I'm gonna read 2 chapters. It's all from the book of Psalms. Psalms 90 from 1 to 17. Psalms 91 from 1 to 16. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are familiar with Psalm 91 because it's a very common psalm. And it's one of my favorite psalms too. Okay, let's go. Psalm 90 from 1 to 17. Lord, thou hast been our dwelling place in all generations. Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever thou hast formed the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting, thou art God. Thou turnest man to destruction, and sayest, Return, ye children of men. For 1,000 years in thy sight are but as yesterday. When it is past, and as a watch in the night, thou carriest them away as with a flood. They are as asleep in the morning, they are like grass which groweth up. In the morning it flourisheth and groweth up. In the evening it is cut down and withereth. For we are consumed by thine anger, and by thy wrath are we troubled. Thou hast set our iniquity before thee, our secret sins in the light of thy countenance. For all our days are passed away in thy wrath. We spend our years as a tale that is told. The days of our years are 60 years and 10, and if by reason of strength they be 80 years, yet is their strength labor and sorrow, for it is soon cut off, and we fly away. Who knoweth the power of thine anger? Even according to thy fear, so is thy wrath. So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Return, O Lord, how long, and let it repent thee concerning thy servants. O satisfy us early with thy mercy, that we rejoice and be glad all our days. Make us glad according to thy days, wherein thou hast afflicted us, and the years wherein we have seen evil. Let thy work appear unto thy servant, and thy glory unto their children. And let the beauty of the Lord our God be upon us. Blessed be his name. And establish thou the work of our hands upon us. Yea, the work of our hands establish thou it. So what that is saying is so powerful, is we can't cling to our own understanding, because what might seem right in our eyes, it's only a matter of time before we realize what it really is. So God is a real God, and God is not man where he should lie. Many a times have I heard his words, and he only spoke it once. Back where it says, the length of our days are 80. So everybody have a certain amount of time before the clock runs out, and we ought to use our time wisely. Many of us use it, like I said, according to what's right in their eyes, in our eyes, but it's not necessarily right, because we know what's right from what's wrong, but yet we choose to do what we choose to do because of the own free will and accord that God gave us. So everybody will give an account for everything that they do with the time that was extended to them. And God give us enough time, especially if he sees something in us, he's gonna keep chasing us. So we gotta accept the call or the calling for concerning all of us and do his will, do our due diligence. And God will continue to bless us in return. There's a beauty in God in doing what God wants us to do, because you can never go wrong. If anything, it only gets better and better and better. Okay, so that was the end of Psalms 90. You could read it for yourself from 1 to 17. It's very, very powerful. And it speaks in a parable where it means a lot of things in that one chapter. Okay, I'm going to read one of my favorite Psalms, Psalms 91, because these are the times where this Psalm really have to where this Psalms, by reading it, it will cover us and doing our will, the will of God, and have God will abide in our lives. When I said doing our will, meaning like the will of God in us, not of our own will, because our will, everything that we do is vanity. Because think about it, we were born in sin. So everything that we do, even when we try to do good in our eyes, is all under the category of vanity. Vanities of vanities. And the wisest man said it, which was Solomon. Okay. There's other wise men too, but Solomon was the wisest. That's why he ended up writing the book of Proverbs and Ecclesiastes and Sons of Solomon. God used him and God gave him great knowledge and wisdom to understand all things. Psalms 91. Let's go. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snares of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. So God is here reminding us that as long as we keep God in our hearts, keep him before us, in us, and behind us, 1,000 could fall at our left hand, and 10,000 at our right hand, and it will not harm us. And anything anyone try to do to harm his people, no weapons formed against us shall prosper. God is not a God that lies. This is from the God of truth, the one and only God. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. Blessed be his name. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. So you see all this pandemic thing, everything is a plague, you know. Whether we look at it like that or not, it been what's going on. It just evolved over decades. Look from when they had chicken pox and all them sitting there, and then they had the certain things that accumulate mums. Then you had AIDS, they have all this shit. Even cancer and all these things too, you know. And look, even you have the hepatitis thing, and what else? Then you have the mad cow disease, remember? The bird flu and all them sitting there. Swine flu. You had the other one name. There's so many different pandemics that happen, man. Can't really even name them all right now, but you get the drift. You know what I'm trying to say. All these things are plagues. It was created, yes, but it's a plague that came, that started messing around with our race, the human race. So it's very important to have God, because God bless us with the revelation that we need to understand and to protect ourselves, because people die because of lack of knowledge. So it's very important to have God's revelation, God's discernment, God within us, in order to navigate through this dark and cold world. So, alright. Verse 10. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and the adder, the young lion, and the dragon shall thou trample under feet. So you see, even with this same verse, when Jesus went there fast 40 days and 40 nights and he went up into the mountain, the devil picked the weakest point, where God was never weak, but he picked the point. The devil is Satan is so clever that he know when he watches us and he know when to try his little clever stuff. You know what I mean? But God sends him, because he realized too, he even tried to throw some of God's words on God, talking about if throw yourself down and let the angel catch you. And I repeat back some of the verse that I just read about if your foot be dashed against a stone, angels shall protect you. But never you tempt the Lord your God. So that's just my moral to this speech that I'm making. Never tempt God. Never test God like in that way, because it's not good and it will never end good. So you see, God put him in place and he had no choice but to flee, because he realized there's nothing he could do to try to. It's like the devil is bold, you know. See, even if he could do that to Jesus, and Jesus is God, imagine us. And if we don't have God, if you don't have God, the devil will devour you. If you have God, God will devour him. Simple. That's the creator. That's the big God. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and the adder, the young lion and the dragon shall thou trample under feet. Because he has set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he has known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. So you see, here we are, the end of Psalms 91 from 1 to 16. Where see how God said, if you put him in everything and you steer it, you draw near to God, God will lift you up. He will elevate you. And so as long as you're sincere from your heart. But we have to go through certain tests. Because God has to test us and try us. See, God testing us is to make sure we become more like Him, you know. We're born in certain things that He's molding us a certain way. And a lot of us don't answer the calling that we get. God call everybody, you know, but that's why I say only a few is chosen, because only a few decide to listen and to hear that voice and try to abide. It's not easy, but we do the best we can. God sees that and He weighs it out. So, therefore, in times of trouble, you're never alone. All you have to do is just call and you have support, full support, real support. Man will always be deceiving, man will always disappoint you, but God will never disappoint you. So that's the moral to this. And only God could satisfy in our needs and wants. We could try to satisfy our own needs and wants, and it will never be satisfied, because it'll just keep growing. That greed, that hunger for greed, and that hunger where it turns into a hole that could never be filled, or you could be thirsty and never be quenched. So with that being said, hopefully this word was a blessing to you. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and let me know in your comments what you think. I'll see you guys in the next video.